Crafty peeps, welcome to our second December Craftology box tutorial. The first one I did just a couple days ago on live on scrapbookersofcountrycraftcreations.com, and we made a cute little gift box. And I can't find the one that I made, but this is an example of the one that I made. So I just love that little gift box. They're fun and easy to make and fast. And, I don't like spending money at the store buying gift boxes when I can make one myself. So, on a actually on YouTube, I had seen somebody make a loaded envelope out of a Christmas stocking template that they had made. And I decided to do something with our Metropolitan girls, something very feminine, and I decided to do a corset loaded envelope. So I thought that'd be really fun to do. Now, on our group files on Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations on Facebook, I will have this in a file for you. You may need to enlarge it a little bit when you're actually going to print it. For some odd reason, my computer made me enlarge it, even though I had it sized to fit in 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So, and then what I did is I used my art glitter glue and I glued it on one side and then of course smoothed it out with my bone folder and then did it again on the other side. And I just like using the thin chipboard. That way I don't have to keep printing these out, okay? First of all, I hate using my printer in general, so that really helped me. So the first sheet of paper I decided to use was a black and white pinstripe, which I absolutely love. Very feminine. And all I did was take this, trace around it, and cut it. And then for my back, I decided to use a solid colored cardstock because they're not really going to look at that back anyway. So I figured that this would be really pretty to do. I'm probably going to make a small cut here down this little black line because I think that that will help be able to put stuff inside here. And I am going to try to use some paper in order to get it to, expand a little bit. So we're going to try to work with this today. This is my first time making one of these, so I'm doing it right along with you. So I suggest you watch first in case I make any boo-boos and then go back. I do try to delete all my boo-boos, but heck, you never know. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Since I've already got my two cut out, I'm going to get some more of my 8.5 by 11 cardstock. And I'm going to cut a strip. Well, first of all, let me score it first. Let me just do that. Okay, because I find that easier. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm going to do 1/4 inch, okay? And maybe 3/8. I think we should do 3/8. So 1, 2, 3. So score at the 3/8 inch line. Whoops. And then 1, 2, 3. That's 3/4. Okay. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3. That's going to be 1 1/8. I'm just trying to make all my strips now so we don't have to do it later. 1, 2, 3. That's 1 1/2. So far we are at 3/8, 3/4, 1 1/8, and 1 1/2. And then I may need a couple more. So 1, 2, 3. We're going to do it at 1 7/8. And then 1, 2, 3, 2 1/4. Okay. And then we're going to cut these strips we're going to skip every other one. So basically, I'm going to make sure that I can fold it in half and use that as my expander. So if that makes any sense, I hope I'm making sense. Let me turn it this way. Be a lot easier. So I'm just going to do it right on that. So here's 1, 2, and cut. And then we'll do 1, 2, and cut. And then again. Oops, looks like I need to change my blade. Oh my goodness, I shouldn't have been using this. I should use my new one. Okay, I'm delirious, but this just happened to be right here. Okay, so then on the valley side up, I'm going to go ahead and fold it over and burnish it with my bone folder. Put that aside and do that with all 3 of these. Okay. And then again. Now you can use glue or you can use tape. I'm going to use my 1/8 inch score tape for this particular thing. I normally love using my glue, okay? But for this, I might use a combination so that I can still move it around. But I'm just going to do it on one edge of this. Okay. Okay, burnish it in. And then you know what? I'm going to actually roll it in my fingers just to kind of, you know, manipulate it a little bit, you know, just to get it a little bit loose so it's not so stiff. And hopefully I'm going to be able to get this done in one shot. But if not, I can split it up. So what I want is I want the mouth on the inside. And basically I'm going to just kind of, yeah, it's probably going to have to be cut. Because I see that it's a possibility, but I really want this to go right. So the best thing to do is to go ahead and cut it like right here at this first angle. And you can actually, what I do is I peel back some. And I know it's kind of hard to see on black. So hopefully this is helping. Okay, so mouth side in. Okay. I'm just going to try to go along the edge. And I am leaving a little bit of a gap. And I'm going to cut. Okay. This is probably not going to be the prettiest right here, but you know what? They're not going to see this anyway. So, because it'll be on the inside of your envelope. Okay. Sorry. I'm going to go ahead and just peel off the rest of the tape. And then I'm just going to work my way around and pressing down as I go along. And still trying to keep that shape. It's a little bit easier, but on those hard curves, it's not as easy. I'm going to cut that. And then again, I'm still going to use this piece and waste not, want not, as they say. Now I'm going to open these little flaps up and I'm going to burnish my edges in here. Okay. So we've got that. And then we're going to keep on doing the same thing all the way around. So I'm going to get quiet and I'll probably fast forward through this part. Okay, so now I only need to do this little piece, so I think I'm going to just do a little bit here. Okay. Okay. So I have this little edge here. And like I said, I know this looks a little crazy, but like I said, you're not actually going to see this part. And then I still have my little piece right there. I can take my glue and connect this little one right here. Okay, I lied. Maybe not. I would not do that. Okay. Well, actually, you can connect this one. And then okay, so now at this point, you have a couple options. You could use your glue or you could use your tape. For me, I'm probably going to use my glue and I'm going to make sure I have it on there pretty good. Now, if you want to go ahead and distress your edges, you might want to do that now. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to use Tim Holtz. Let's see here. I have a vanilla color. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and ink these edges and then I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I was thinking about it after I inked, while I was inking my edges. I decided that before I glue this on here or whatever you're going to do, tape it on here, you basically want to finish your corset first. I think it's a lot easier to do it that way. I decided that I am going to go ahead and kind of get it where it opens up a little bit more so that you can stuff more stuff down in there. And I'm just kind of making like a little tiny sliver V, if that makes any sense. And then once I get that little sliver out, I'll stop probably after about an inch down from where the original slit was. And then I'm going to trim that off. Okay. And then I'm actually going to get it to go down just a little bit more, trying to go as straight as possible down my center line. If you're using a different pattern paper, it may be easier to actually draw your line on there and then cut from there. That's just completely up to you. I was lucky that I pretty much had this line going straight down the center of mine. Okay, so now I have mine going down about, where did my ruler go? Oh my goodness. This is about as bad as my live show when I have my bloopers. Okay. From the actual top, it's about 3 inches. Okay, so I went about 3 inches down. And then I'm thinking, I really want to do some embellishments. But before I do that, where is my, that is crazy. Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get some more ink on those edges so they don't look so darn white. Okay. Okay. And then I really want to add some embellishments. Okay. So first of all, I definitely know I'm going to use my tool, and I have a piece left over from what I cut last time. And what I was thinking was, if this is going to work, okay, I was going to kind of like pleat it. but I need it a little bit thinner than what I had cut. So this right here is about almost 2 inches. I'm going to go ahead and cut it at about 1. So basically 1 inch. And I'm going to do it all the way down. And I'm hoping that this is going to work, because otherwise I'll look like a total nut, which that wouldn't be anything new. Okay. So okay. So I'm going to flip over my girl here. I love this paper so much. You could, even this is just gorgeous on this side. Let me get out my score tape right here. Okay. Sorry, I thought it was behind me because that's where I normally store it at. And I'm going to put it around the edge here. Okay. And the other thing, just in case that doesn't work, I'm going to go ahead and plug in my glue gun. Give me 1 second, guys. I apologize. Okay. So I'm going to burnish in this edge here. Let me zoom in just a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to start, I think it may be easier for me to start on this end. Okay. So I'm basically going to go ahead and put it down, and then I'm going to push it back and then make little pleats. So you're basically, I don't even know if you can really see what I'm doing, but I'm basically putting it down, okay? And then I am just going back a little bit where I put it down at. And this is why I'm thinking this may not be sticky enough to do that. So you may need to use your glue gun just to reinforce this little pleat here. But right now it looks like it's working pretty good. And I will show you in just a minute, because I know it's hard to see how this is coming out here. And it really does help if you burnished it in really well to do that. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and that last piece, I'm going to go back a little bit. Hold on, let me make sure it's burnished in there good. I'm going to go back a little bit because I want to make sure. I'm going to go right back over what I just did. What I just pleated, kind of like basically so that I don't have a crazy looking edge and they won't be able to see that. I'm going to go ahead and my glue gun's still not heated up yet. Okay, let me see if you can kind of see what I have done here. See how I did that? And then it looks something like this. Isn't that cute? I am just loving this little corset deal. If this is too long for you, obviously you can either A, move it up, or B, trim it. I don't know if I trust my trimming qualities. So, and I think I may have to do that same thing that I did over here, but I'll figure that out in a minute. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and do the other side while I'm waiting for my glue gun to heat up. I'm actually going to overlap where I left off, okay? And again, I'm going to burnish that in really good. I'm doing it like pretty hard. So I'm going to peel that off. And then I'm going to do the same thing I was doing before. But this time I am going to fold it over a little bit. That way I won't get that weird edge like I got on the last one by accident because I didn't realize I needed to do that. Okay, so, and then I'm going to just go ahead and do the same thing where I pleat it and then move back and put right back on top. And I'm most likely probably thinking about doing the same thing for the top. Okay. And then I'm actually going to go over, I'm going to kind of go like in that V motion and run it just a little bit along my other line here where I started at. There's my glue gun. And let me get out my little, where'd it go? Oh my goodness. Am I like super disorganized today or what? It's almost like my daughter came in here and took stuff. Okay, I don't. Oh, there it is. There's my little spatula. Okay, blaming my daughter for nothing. I'm awful. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just reinforce this so that nothing comes up with a thin strip of, you know, hot glue. And the one thing I love about this glue gun is that I barely get any strings. I just love that. Okay. Let that dry for a minute and it's looking pretty cute. Looks like I have one side longer than the other, so I'm going to have to trim that up. Oops. Put that in the trash. If it will go in the trash. It's like stuck to me. Here. Okay. It still looks a little long on this side. Goodness. Okay. That's okay. I'm just going to keep on trimming it till it looks right. There. That's much better. Let me get that one little piece down there. That looks at its a weird angle. Okay. So now it's looking really good. Let me see if I can kind of show you on this white piece of paper. So yeah, that's perfect. So this is what we've got here so far. And there. I love it. It's looking so cute. Now, if you have some little pearls, flat back pearls, or you could use another ribbon, or anything you want to use right there. This would be really cute, like a solid colored polka dotted ribbon. Then it would be like your black and teal. That'd be really pretty. Let's just see how that looks real quick. Ooh, I'm liking that. Yep, I'm really loving that. I think that's super cute. So I'm going to go ahead and get out my score tape again. One of my favorite things to use when attaching ribbon. And I'm going to go a little bit over the edge because I'm actually going to fold it back on here. Okay. And again, burnish it in real good. Okay. My little string pieces that keep coming back because they're trying to haunt me. Okay. So I'm going to put a little bit to make sure it goes over the edge. Okay. Oops. I'm going to take my glue gun and I'm just going to do a real thin strip there of glue. And I'm pressing it down in there. Okay. And then I'm thinking do one right here. Shouldn't have done that. Now it's sticking to my tool. Well, I'll have to fix that in a little bit. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and trim it. I'm going to go ahead and cut my ribbon at an angle. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and again, my score tape, I'm going to make sure that it goes over that, oops, not that far. Close to my edge. Carry it over and burnish it in. Yep, I'll definitely have to clean that up. Make sure you don't use your glue gun down there because then it's going to get stuck on the tool and then it's going to look ugly. Okay. I may have to redo that whole piece. Good grief. Okay. I'm just trying to stay along my curved edge here. Okay, again, carry it over and trim. I'm actually going to lift this up a little bit because I do want to use my glue gun to make sure that it stays. And since I went a little crazy, I got to get out my spatula so I don't burn myself. Oh my goodness, this is looking so cute. Except for the one piece that I messed up down there. Okay. So far I think it's looking precious. Okay, now, if you want to put your tool up here, you can do that now. You may want to think about, do you want your ribbon to go straight down? I'm thinking, I'm not really sure. If I do, I need it to go. I probably should have done that first. I may not do that this time. See, that's why y'all gotta learn from, y'all will learn from my mistakes if you want to do that. I could possibly get it to lift. We'll see. Yep. I think I may only lift it on one side. Maybe not. Good grief. Just not trusting it. I know what I'll do. Okay, I'm going to make a little arrow, and that may help it. Yes, ma'am, it does. Okay. So then I can go ahead and place that back where it was. And I probably will have to go over that portion with my glue gun because that was my error. Okay. And then you can go up. I'm thinking that this may be too thick for this. Okay. I don't know what I'm going to do. I might have to find a really thin, I might use a thin, either a string or a very thin piece of paper here to kind of emphasize this little line here. Let me think about that and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm just so lucky I happen to have one piece of this teal satin ribbon, double-sided. Well, actually, it's not even really a double-sided ribbon. Anyway, luckily I had in my stash. Thank goodness I like never throw away anything because, well, it could be times like this that you may need something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and center my score tape, and like I said, I really like to use score tape when it comes to something like this. I'm just going to center it and try to go as much as possible in a straight line to where I have my little cut. Okay, burnish that in. And I also got out some black buttons out of my stash too, that are kind of shiny. And I got those at Tuesday morning with their Halloween stuff, I guess, or when it was at the time. I'm sure they probably still have them. They had a buttload when I was there. They were just the orange and black ones, and I happen to like the black shiny ones. Okay, so I just kind of went under where I had it before. And I'm going to, actually this one I'm going to do. It's easier for me to do it this way. And then whatever doesn't fit under there, I will snip that off. I'm just going to take off just a tiny little bit of it. And now at this point, I'm probably going to need a little dab of glue there. I'm going to have to do it pretty lightly, which I didn't do that. So let me get out my bone folder and dig some of that out before it ruins my stuff again. Ooh, I've had some luck with some glue today, let me tell you. In other words, maybe we should do the ribbon first and then put your tool on. Okay. Now it's looking super cute. Okay, so this here, I can simply take it because it's tiny enough and slide it back there. And again, with my glue gun, just do a real thin line and flatten it out. And make sure you're wiping up any excess glue with your finger or whatever, your spatula, so that you don't have any like major lumps underneath here or anything that's blocking from your. He's looking so cute. Okay. I'm really loving this. Okay, so this is what it was called, Buttoning Crafts Embellishment. It was by some company called Buttons Galore and More. And like I said, I got them at Tuesday morning. Hopefully that's what I said. And then I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and somehow figure out where I want these. Obviously, the more accurate you are, the better it will look. So if you do your measurements, I would say probably between an inch to a half inch between. Let me see what we've got here so far. Yeah, it's almost like 1¼ inch in between. So I'm thinking I want to start well, if I literally start from this edge, this would make sense. Okay. So I kind of need a I'm thinking, okay, so if I do the one in the center, then, and I put it at, let's see, that looks about right. So basically, if you put the one in the center here, if you have one of your Tim Holtz rulers, and I'm thinking if I start, see, that just looks weird to me if I start up there. I mean, it's just going to depend on where you actually put your lines, but I think I'm going to start right about here. And so I'm going to measure right here at each of these arrows. That's where I'm going to do it. Then from there, I'm going to measure 1¼ inch down again. And I can pretty much follow along with this because, like I said, mine, oops, 1¼ inch I said. Mine is striped, so it's easy for me to follow along with that. And then I've got one more, 1¼ inch. Okay. And then I'm just going to line my buttons up to make sure that's where I want it. And like I said, normally I would do this with a pencil, but since my pencils disappeared, I'm just going to center these. And that's about right. And then I'll just do the same thing on the other side. Once I finish putting these on, I'll be right back. Okay, so far I've got my buttons hot glued on, And then from the $1.50 bin over at Michael's, I got some of these little ivory things a while ago. And I just went ahead and put some down here. And I did go ahead and put my tool up at the top here because I already kind of showed you how to do that down here. And I'm kind of deciding on what I want to put up here. Do I want to just do, you know, diamonds, or do I want to do more of this ribbon here? And I'm thinking, I'm not so sure about the ribbon because this is a much tighter, you know, circle thing here. And I think that this ribbon is too wide for that. So I'm thinking I might just go ahead and get some gems going on here. And at this point, I really think you can go ahead and attach your piece here. And then I'll come back with my embellishments. I'm not really sure. I think I might just go ahead and glue this on. Let me see here. I've got a lot of these little clips. So let me, goodness, I got glue gun stuff everywhere. Let me fix this up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly apply my glue here. Pretty good. Because this glue does dry pretty fast, so you kind of need to do it pretty quickly. And I'll do the other side in just a minute. So I'm just going to lay it on here, line it up. I'm going to go ahead and use my little clips. I've got several of them. And I mean, you can burnish your edges in, but these clips should do pretty well for you. Let me just and uh-oh. Just want to make sure that this might not want to use the glues. We'll see here. Might just want to glue gun it. In fact, that's what I'm going to do with this little edge right here. Yeah, I'm thinking the glue gun's working pretty good. Except for the fact of when it comes outside and makes a mess. But other than that, it's looking pretty darn good. Of course, you can always use your tape too. In fact, let me see if this has even Yep, I think I'm going to have to use a glue gun. Get the stuff off the back here. Apologize, I'm just trying to clean that up real quick. Okay, so, and actually this glued on here already. So it looks really good. Let me just double check. And it looks like you can slide quite a bit in there. I might just go ahead and, no, I don't trust it. It's glued already. Yeah. So anyway, that is your loaded envelope corset tutorial. I will be back with the finished product. And if there's anything new that I add in here, I will definitely do a tutorial on that portion of it. But I will be right back.